Okay, thank you, Mr. Bucalon, for reminding us how it is important to be safe while using the internet. Now, let us move on to our next speaker. Help me welcome Miss Gail and Miranda. And I encourage everyone to perform a virtual clap.
Okay, good day everyone. My name is Gail Miranda and I am the next speaker for today's webinar. So now let's first talk about what is cyberbullying. Cyberbullying, cyber harassment or online bullying is a form of bullying or harassment using okay. Okay, so now let's first talk about what is cyberbullying. Cyberbullying, cyber harassment, or online bullying is a form of bullying or harassment using electronic means, usually among minors in a school setting, and has become increasingly common, especially among teenagers. So, cyberbullying is similar to traditional bullying. It is just that victims may not know the identity of their bully and the reason for bullying them. Cyberbullies may disclose victims' personal data on websites or forums called doxing, or may use impersonation and create fake accounts, comments, or sites for the purpose of publishing material in their names. Specifically, bullying uses of digital technologies that can take place on social media, messaging platforms, gaming platforms, and mobile phones, and it is repeated behavior aimed at scaring, angering, or shaming those who are targeted. Next slide. There are various types of cyberbullying, such as internet trolling and cyberstalking. So first is internet trolling. It is a common form of bullying over the internet in an online community to elicit a reaction, disruption, or intentionally provoke and offend others. Moreover, it is when a person who intentionally antagonizes others online by posting inflammatory, irrelevant, or offensive comments or other disruptive content. Second is the cyber stalking. So it is another form of bullying or harassment that uses electronic communication to stalk a victim and oppose a credible threat to harass him or her. So it is the act of persistent and unwanted contact from someone online. It may involve Any number of incidents, including threats, libel, defamation, sexual harassment, or other actions in which to control, influence, or intimidate their target. Next slide. We all know that bullying behavior impacts the whole school community and has detrimental effects on students' health, well-being, and learning. So here are the implications of bullying in schools. Schools should initiate various anti-bullying programs and campaigns to protect students from being threatened or victimized by such offense. Teachers should be oriented and trained in handling bullying cases and executing teaching strategies to address and reduce bullying cases in class. Schools should conduct student empowerment activities that can be engaged in by students, including the bullies, to divert their attention and energy into something worthwhile and engagements that they can be busy about. Next, next is cybercrime. Next is cybercrime. What is cybercrime? Cybercrime refers to any illegal activity carried out using computers or the internet. Cybercrime defined by Technopedia as a crime with the computer as the object of the crime, example, hacking, phishing, and spamming, or is used as a tool to commit offense, example, child pornography and hate crimes. It is also referred to as a crime that is practiced by those who have technological skills and use the internet to achieve their bad motive. There is a wide variety of cybercrimes which can broadly be placed into two categories: one-off crimes and ongoing crimes. One-off crimes, such as installing a virus that steals your personal data; ongoing crimes, such as cyberbullying, extortion, distributing child pornography, and etc. Exploring the internet, researching, and evaluating the web. The internet is a global communication network that allows computers to exchange and share information worldwide. It makes possible for people around the world to connect and share ideas across time zones and geographic locations. However, because cyberspace is, is such a large realm, sometimes it is difficult to find the needed information. So the most effective way to explore the internet is to have strategies in place for doing research on the web and for evaluating the websites. And commonly, this is important among schools in doing researches and other related works. Next slide. Surfing the web. Here are the three factors in surfing the web. First is most surfing sessions start with the user targeted keywords about the subject into a search engine. Second, good strategies for searching the web include writing research questions, extracting keywords from the questions and typing them into a search engine using synonyms if the keywords do not bring up desired results, keeping track of keywords and synonyms used, and recording the results of search. Third is always be cautious about the information shared online and in visiting websites. Next, next slide. Let's proceed to the assessing credibility. Different websites access on the web can make the job of researchers very challenging. Carefully evaluate the information searched online, consider the credibility or the trustworthiness and reliability of the content before taking it. There are two types of websites: informational and commercial. Informational websites usually strive to offer credible content to users, while commercial websites present inaccurate information in order to see something. So next is the sixth checklist of credibility criteria. First, the author. Check the credentials of the author, the company, or the expert and determine the qualifications to provide information on the subject being researched. Second, date. Look for copyright information at the bottom of a website's homepage. Third, purpose. Analyze the goals of the website to determine if it is an informational or an advertisement site. Fourth, contact. Most credible websites list down contact information such as telephone number, email address, or mailing address. Fifth, fact versus opinion. When doing research for a school paper, go to sites that present factual information provided by experts rather than opinions. And the last is URL. May look like ending in .edu for education, .gov for government, .org for organization, .com for commercial sites, .net for networking sites. And next, and the next slide, recognition or information sources. Similar to the information in print sources, the use of online sources must be given credit to the authors. This can be done by applying proper referencing and citation procedures that would get rid of risk, consequences, and legal implications because of the copyright issue, which means that the ideas and words used belong to the authors. Now let's move on to citation. So each entry in the bibliography is called a citation. Proper citation must be applied or included for every source used, whether it is a website, a newspaper, or a book. So as you can see on the image, it shows the proper citation. Next slide. Data privacy implications. The implementation of data privacy in the country is becoming stronger and powerful, especially in utilizing data for research and other forms of report and paper works. This has also corresponding legal implications once not processed immediately and properly. It involves uploading of pictures, designs, graphics, concepts or ideas, frameworks, artwork, data, and other information that are copyrighted without the consent of the author or the source. And lastly, let's proceed to the practical techniques. Number one, when getting data, put proper citation and source acknowledgement. Example, source, National Statistics Office 2019. Second, when using needed pictures downloaded from the internet, put acknowledgement. For example, Photo credits to Bill Post 2019. Third, if data, concepts, and information are copyrighted, ask for the consent or the author and wait for his or her response. And fourth, however, if the data and information are for public domain, just acknowledging or citing the author or the source will do. And the fifth, if the author doesn't really want anyone to utilize his or her data, file, or article, learn the value of respect anyway that is his or her property. So that would be all. Thank you and God bless.
Okay. Thank you, Miranda, for sharing your experiences and information. Indeed, it's important to have credible sources to be more reliable when sharing and spreading information. Now, now let us proceed to our last speaker for today's webinar. Help me welcome Miss Christine Lyra Prado.
Good morning, everyone. I am Kristen Lyra Prado and I will discuss to you the research and data collection protocols, tips to avoid plagiarism, how to evaluate a website, integrating digital or cyber literacy into the curriculum, and the impact of integrating digital literacy in the classroom on teachers, families, and friends. First, I will discuss to you the research and data collection protocols. So when we say research and data collection protocols, it is when we research and collect data from the web, avoiding plagiarism, which is the act of taking someone else's work and presenting it as your own. Plagiarism is unethical and it brings you in trouble. Sometimes, students like us don't mean to plagiarize, but we end up doing it accidentally because we are sometimes unaware or unclear about it. So now let us proceed to the next slide. So the following are the 10 types of plagiarism that teachers, researchers, and students should know. First, we have the clone plagiarism. So, plagiarism is called identical copying or copying another work or the word for word without any change and claim as his or her own work. Second, we have the remix plagiarism. So it refers to collecting information from various sources and mixing all together as a single document, then claiming the work as their own work. Third, we have the control plus C plagiarism. This is when a significant portion of a text copied rather from a single source without any alteration in a written document rather. So fourth, we have the hybrid plagiarism. So in here, perfectly cited source documents are copied and arranged as a new document without citation. Fifth, find replace plagiarism. This is changing the most common keywords and phrases in the copied content but not making any changes in the essential document. Sixth, recycle plagiarism. It is also called a self-plagiarism. It refers to the act of borrowing from one's or previous document without proper citation. Seventh, mashup plagiarism. So it is when the written document is copied from more than one source and all are mixed together without proper citation. Next, we also have the 404 error plagiarism. So in here, a person creates a document by copying from various sources, prepared as a single document with a citation, but inaccurate or leads to non-existing sources. Ninth, aggregator plagiarism. So in here, the written document includes proper citation, but it does not contain original work. And last, we have the retweet plagiarism. In here, all written documents look perfect rather, with properly cited mark, but still, the document resembles somewhere the original text, structure, or wordings. Next slide, please. Now, let us proceed to the tips to avoid plagiarism. Sometimes, plagiarism involves deliberately stealing someone's work, but more often, it happens accidentally through carelessness or forgetfulness. Turnitin.com or the internet-based plagiarism prevention service suggests that some techniques to avoid plagiarism the teachers, researchers, and students should know. First is to read and understand the original document several times before start and explaining about it. Second, or another form of plagiarism occurs when an author copies entire phrases, sentences, or paragraphs from a source without citation. So do not copy any words or sentences from the original document. Third, give proper citation to all sources. Fourth, in case of citing online sources, include the retrieval date and the appropriate URL in the reference. So the retrieval date refers to the date you located an online source and should be included in the citation. Next slide, please. Fifth, common phrases and definitions need to be quoted and cited without any modification. Sixth, make a practice to include the references section whenever you write an academic document. Seventh, cross-verify all your citations before submitting your documents. And the last one is resort to available plagiarism software to ensure the originality of the written document. Next slide, please. Now let us proceed to how to evaluate a website. So Morris in 2018 suggests ways on evaluating a website as reference in research. So first, they open the site. So when looking through the Google search results open sites in new tabs, leave search results in a tab for easy access later. For example, right-click on the title and click Open Link in the new tab. Second, the skim read. It determines whether you can read and understand the text. If it is too complicated or difficult to understand, find another website that may provide the information you need. Look for the answer to your question. Find out if the information on the site actually answers your question. You can use a search box, navigation menu, or pull up your own search box by pressing Ctrl or Command F and type in the keywords you are searching for. Fourth, consider the credibility of the author or the website. You need to consider the credibility of the author or the website by considering the following. First, we have the domain. So domains that are included is .gov or .gov or .edu or the .edu are trustworthy sources. Second, the author's information. we should look at the author's bio or about page regarding the qualification of the author. Third, design. Avoid sites that are cluttered and difficult to navigate. And fourth is sources. Trustworthy articles usually link to other sources or cite where their facts come from. Fifth, consider the purpose of the site. Think about the purpose of the site and whether it meets your needs. And the last one is look for the date. Consider whether the information is current enough for your topic. You can look for the date when the article was written or last updated. Sometimes, URLs also include dates. Next slide, please. Now let us proceed to the integrating digital cyber literacy into the curriculum. So the following are suggested activities to integrate digital literacy, higher order thinking, and construction of meaning in the classroom. So first, use an interactive whiteboard to design and deliver lessons. Use Promethean and Smart with teacher-created lessons if you are not yet capable of designing your own. So by the use of an interactive whiteboards, students can learn new things easily and attentively. An interactive whiteboard also provides an opportunity to create an environment in the class that can stimulate the students to learn from each other in spite of having different learning styles. So this latest technology is assisting the students and teachers for developing the 21st century skills. Second is to allow students to maintain blogs, wikis, web pages related to their learning. So let's start with the definition of blogs, which is basically a short form of weblogs. A blog is a platform that contains textual entries that may contain images, videos, or audios as well. This platform is available online and can be accessed by general public. A blog usually is a representative of its author who keeps it updated by posting. A wiki is an online writing platform that can be used as a collaborative tool for online classrooms. On a wiki page, students can access the web pages that contain articles and add more information to them. They can also modify the existing information on a wiki page. So this platform encourages collaboration and develops an open and discursive environment. A web page is a hypertext document of the World Wide Web. Web pages are delivered by a web server to the user and displayed in a web browser. Third, engage in a email, video, chat, exchanges with students. So, giving students a chance to connect at a social level with their peers before jumping into an academic conversation can help them feel more comfortable sharing their ideas with the group. Storytelling uses video, audio, social media, blogging, and other tools to convey ideas and information effectively. The emphasis is on empowering students to create authentic products that they can share with others beyond the classroom walls and to allow for audience interaction rather and feedback. Next slide, please. Fifth, set up blog site, Facebook page, Yahoo or Google group, and post weekly discussion questions for students to respond. Use the chat windows strategically. Just like in a classroom, students need a moment to process a question and formulate their responses. Sixth, online or the use video cameras to dramatize stories, record scientific experiments, and expose students to video editing software to create video production of learning. So online discussion is a critical part of online learning, and as such, students need to develop the skills necessary to engage in this space. Next slide, please. So seven, engage students in discussions how and why use media work well to showcase learning and why others do not. Eight, thinking critically about the medium used to present a message is as important as the message itself. Ninth, require a portfolio that would compile their outputs, projects, messages, and photo documents of group activities and investigations online. Next slide, please. So the last one is to allow students to use digital tools such as mobile phones, iPad, and netbooks for Google search, dictionary apps, YouTube YouTube, podcast, and Spotify applications in class to complement their learning, especially during group works and concept reporting. So it connects students with teachers and other students and help them deal with class attendance issues, rearrange meetings, retrieve schedule and assignment data, discuss assignments, coordinate study groups, and seek help with academic and life problems. Next slide, please. Now let us proceed to the impact of integrating digital literacy in the classroom on teachers, families, and friends. So integrating digital literacy in the classroom can bring positive impact on students' learning as evidenced by the following. First, it motivates students in their learning rather due to their enjoyment and ease of use with various technological mediums. Second, it reaches students of various learning styles and multiple intelligences. Third, it allows students to create and design their own unique products reflective of their personalities and learning needs and styles. Fourth, it encourages students to manipulate media in constructing their own meaning. And fifth, it enables students to share their learning with teachers, families, and friends. And the last one is it gives students the chance to explore technological media that inevitably increase the job skills needed in the workplace. So findings revealed that teachers' integration of digital literacy were related to their behavioral beliefs, attitude toward outcomes of a behavior, about the value of digital literacy for developing students' 21st century skills, increasing student engagement and preparation for the future careers, normative beliefs or the social support about meeting the expectation of administrators, parents, colleagues, and students, and control beliefs about ease of integrating digital literacy in the classroom on teachers, families, and friends. So that's all for my discussion. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you to our last speaker, Mrs. Christine Lyra Prado. Truly, as students and future educators, we have to avoid plagiarism. We need to practice being practical and to not just settle for simple answers. Okay, now do you have questions and clarifications about the topic? Anyone? Clarifications and questions about the topic?
None so far, ma'am.
Okay, if none, it's good to know. It only means that you understood the discussions very well. I hope this information will help you in the near future. Now, okay, before we end this meeting, may I request everyone to open your camera for the documentation, please? Those who have excellent internet connectivity. Okay, one, two, three, smile. Thank you very much for the participation. Okay, I have here saying from Pinterest, which states just because we know how to use internet doesn't mean we know how to use it to enhance our learning. Thank you to our dear speakers and to everyone who attended and who joined the meeting. Now that ends our meeting for today. This is Marjorie Bagcat, your host, signing off.